Okay, cinematic, 30 frames per second. Whew. Linear lens with horizon leveling. How's that? Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Today we're taking a look at the GoPro Hero 9 and I'm gonna be covering this really briefly from the perspective of someone that wants one camera for each situation kind of thing. Is this something that you can use for your daily vlogging or just memories collection? Or is it something geared towards the extreme sport, some more specific circumstances? By the way guys, if you enjoy the content, give this video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. Also don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and maybe even punch the bell icon to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Quite a difference in size, and I think the 8 was a bit bulkier than the 7 as well, but not as much. I guess that's partially due to the now color front-facing LCD display you can use for vlogging. Also due to the fact that the battery is about 40% larger in this one than it used to be. But the good thing comparing to the 7 is, and the 8 also had that, is that now you don't need any frames or anything. You just open the flaps on the bottom, and they did that quite well. I think they're metal and they can be easily replaced. This whole module can be replaced if you break a flap, which is pretty good. First most noticeable thing is the front display, and this would allow you to look at yourself while recording, which has proven quite useful in a few situations, but mostly I guess it's just a gimmick because with such a wide angle view field, it's kind of hard to miss yourself vlogging. Okay, so testing the standard functions with 2.7K at 60 frames. This is the in-camera audio, and just had lunch and coffee. Currently, because I'm using linear with horizon leveling, I would have kept the camera like that if I'm just holding it naturally, and I would have cut Gala. But the front-facing screen is actually quite useful because I can see that and I can adjust the angle that I'm aiming it at, so Gala can be in the shot as well. Quite shaking the camera right now walking, but I think it looks kind of stable. My initial impressions are that the audio coming out of the camera is actually pretty decent, and if you're only using that for YouTube or home videos, this would be perfectly sufficient. Okay, this is again 2.7K 60 frames, linear lens with horizon leveling, and I'm just driving around town testing this as a vlogging setup. A lot of people like to vlog in the car. So what do you think about the horizon leveling and the stabilization? I just switched the lens to wide view, and this is pretty much the default settings that the GoPro comes with. So there's no horizon leveling here, but you should be getting the Hyper Smooth 3.0 and everything should be pretty stable. GoPro, stop recording. Now we're doing super view. All the other settings are the same. Once again, I'm driving around quite a bumpy road, so I really hope that that the stabilization is doing a great job. Next thing, and probably the biggest upgrade, is that they changed the sensor. So now you get a 20 megapixel sensor capable of 20 megapixels, so photos and 5K at 30 frames. A lot of people are booming about this 5K, and for me it just means that they have more room to utilize for the Hyper Smooth, and this comes with Hyper Smooth 3.0, which pretty much builds a bit on top of Hyper Smooth that they introduced with the 7 and version 2 with the Hero 8. And the thing they add is this thing called horizon leveling, which pretty much means that when you shake the camera, it keeps the horizon leveled, and a mod is expected, the max lens mod, that's gonna give you 155 degrees of field of view, and with it you'll get this thing that people get on the Hero Max, where you can pretty much rotate the camera and it will keep a leveled horizon, which is, I guess, pretty cool. This is completely handheld. hearing the audio from the GoPro, and doing it at 4K, 30 frames, linear lens with horizon leveling. Let me just shake the camera to the sides a bit, see what happens. Here you can see the horizon leveling in action. I'm rocking the camera to the sides, and apart from some struggling with the reflections, the horizon is pretty stable. We're just gonna do a short time lapse to test the video time lapse feature. I wanna see how the camera performs for let's say your everyday average Joe like me. So I prefer it if I don't have to like take photos, then go through all the troubles with our time-lapse to sync everything and then go into Lightroom and edit and stuff like that. I do that once in a while, but if the camera is capable of recording a high-quality time-lapse video, that's what I prefer, because everything happens in camera and I don't have to spend time editing. Here I'm testing the time warp functionality on top of one of the hills, and you can see that I'm pretty much just holding it with my hand, and that's the result, and I gotta say it looks amazing. One of my favorite ways to do a time warp is to put the camera on the chesty. Here am I bouncing down the stairs, and as you can see, the result looks incredible. So testing it on a really bumpy road down one of the hills. So let's see how the horizon leveling and the stabilization hold up. Doing a time warp from the car is kind of cliche, but I gotta say that the result was way better than I expected. Another time warp test, I'm just holding the camera and running, and the result is amazing. You cannot reuse your older batteries, but this has been performing quite well. It's a new camera and a new battery. I've only had it for a few days, so I'm not sure how it's gonna progress over time, but so far I gotta say I've gotten about 30% more out of it than I used to get from the Hero 7. Here's a night lapse video with auto shutter speed and auto interval, and it took about 1 hour and 30 minutes to record this, and I got 1.5 minutes and it only drained about 40% of the battery. This thing is really small, really portable. I have a nice weight to it, feels robust. For those of you who have used GoPros before, you know that these are pretty hard to break. The UI feels a bit more responsive. I still have some issues with getting the touchscreen to register my finger when it's like colder or drier, which would probably be an issue while skiing, which I had with the 7 and the 5. So I'm kind of used to like pressing hard and relying more on the voice commands. Gotta say, slow motion has improved a lot. This is 120 frames at 2.7K, and this one again, and you can see that now Hypersmooth works across all resolutions and all frame rates, even at 240 frames per second, which looks much better with the higher bitrate. Still gotta remember that it crops quite a lot. Keep in mind though that the low light performance still lacks a bit, but I guess that's to be expected. You get a decent HDR straight out of the box, but as soon as it gets darker, you start to see a lot of noise. Okay, one of the hardest things to do for me with the GoPro has been green screen recording. So I'm really hoping that with the 20 megapixel sensor and the 100 megabit bitrate, I'll be able to record something usable, like I'm doing with my phone usually, just by using green sheet behind me, and also 2 really cheap lights off of Amazon. Okay guys, that was it, the Hero 9 Black, the 2020 edition. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful. I really tried to like keep it simple, not going into like too many details and settings. Most people just want to grab that and have this robust camera that they can just carry around and use for pretty much anything. Overall, that's a great camera, and right now with their offer for 1 year of cloud storage and a huge discount on the camera, I gotta say it's a pretty good deal, especially with the Christmas holidays approaching. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and maybe even punch the bell icon to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Till then, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.